Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. I'm currently in the process of moving and packing all of my items, and obviously I have to pack all of my DIYs, but before I put them away, I wanted to style them realistically to show you guys how you can make DIYs and make them function into your homes. And it's crazy to me to look back at all these DIYs because some of them I didn't even make that long ago, but they feel like eons ago just because I've done so many different DIY projects, and it makes me really proud to just look back at all of them and see all the projects that I've made within this space. And this video is just a little homage to all of my DIYs that I made in my beautiful craft space here. So in this video I want to give you guys some of my best tips for styling home decor, especially trinkets and knickknacks that you make in your little DIY projects. Let's get into the video and let's start styling. The first category of DIYs that I want to cover is wall hangings, and this one definitely is a crowd favorite. This moon wall hanging that I made, I think just over a month ago, which seems so crazy because it feels like I made this thing so long ago, but it has held up great. And a lot of people have actually recreated this piece, and it makes me so happy when I see people tag me in their projects. So I want to show you guys all the different ways that you can style wall hangings. And the first way actually is to put it on a shelf. I know a lot of times wall hangings are obviously meant to be on a wall, but for wall hangings like this one, I've actually really liked putting it on the edge of my shelf. I think this has added a nice drapey element to a shelf, and you guys might have noticed it's sitting in the background of a lot of my videos, so I really love to put it over there. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. So I wanted to share this quick tip with you guys, and if you don't want to create holes or use tape, you can totally use this mounting putty for prints and lightweight hangings. And this is kind of like sticky tack that your teachers used to use in school, and I'll have this one linked down below. It's super easy to use, and best of all, it's damage free. Putting a wall hanging up above a table really establishes a designated space in your home. So as you can see here, this hanging really completes my little vinyl player corner. And also a bunch of people commented that this piece would look great above a crib. And I think that's such a great idea to draw your eye upwards in a nursery. The next way that I like to style my wall hangings is actually in a gallery wall. So you guys might notice that I use this gallery wall a lot when I'm styling all my DIYs. And that's because it just works so well with all the different frames and artwork and pieces on my wall. And I also feel like it just gives a lot more visual interest when you have something to look at that's not just a square or a rectangle on the wall. It really helps break it up. And right now I have my latest wall hanging on the wall, and it's this really cute moon phase one. I'm obsessed with how it looks. I think the colors of the wall hanging really ties in all the rest of the colors within the gallery wall together, and that's why it works so cohesively. But I like to have options, so I'm always switching out the different wall hangings that I have here. And you'll also notice that I have one side with a longer wall hanging. So I like to put shorter wall hangings in this spot in particular. So something that works perfectly for that spot over there is actually a rainbow wall hanging. So I have a couple of these, and it just fits so nicely within that space. And you'll also notice that when I'm creating my DIYs, I really look at all the colors within my space already to make sure that my color palette works with all the other pieces. So like with this piece, it's very neutral but has that pop of yellow on here, and that really just ties in the yellow of this painting and the one above it. This is a great tip to keep in mind because as you're creating DIYs, you can really personalize it to your own style. So you might watch different DIY videos and look at a project like this and think that it doesn't work in your space, but a lot of times my projects as well as other DIY projects can totally be customized to your space depending on the textures and the colors that you make it in. Another tip for styling DIYs is to put them in common areas where guests are so they can admire it too. So I'm gonna hang up my raffia rainbow wall hanging right in the middle of these two wicker plates, and I think that this gives this space a slight beachy feel. And again, I'm using my mounting putty for this, and here's how it turned out. Not to mention, this also makes a great backdrop for mirror selfies. The next category of DIYs that I want to talk about are trinket dishes and things that you place on tables usually. So I have these ones right here, and I feel like these can all be used in a number of different ways. So for example, if you have a larger piece like this one, it can work in so many different spaces. You can have it in your entryway for keys. You can also put it on your side table and put all of your jewelry into it at the end of the night. Or something like this would look really great in your bathroom with all of like your bath bombs and your spa essentials. It would just look so nice and cohesive in this type of container. But if you have something smaller like these items, they look really great styled with other things within other trays. For example, my little Trinket dish here, I think it looks so great styled with other items like a candle, another big vase, and some plants around it. I think it just elevates this piece more, and you can't really tell that it's a DIY when you have other beautiful things styled around it. And that's one really big tip that I can give you guys, is when you're styling some of your DIY items, is to use other items that are not handmade, and that way it just elevates the piece that much more. A lot of times for my reveal shots, I will use other elements with my DIY, and that way it looks a lot more put together than if I were to just style this on its own. And something else I want to mention about these DIYs that are meant to be smaller scale for your tables, I think that if you were to make these in a larger scale, you can definitely put them onto the wall and use it as a wall hanging. So just because you see a DIY styled one way in a video does not mean that's the only way that you can style something. You can definitely take all of these pieces, make them in a larger scale, and hang them up on a wall, or even just lean it against a wall. Any way that you choose to style it to fit your space will look amazing. The next group of DIYs that I want to talk about are ceramics, and you guys have seen me do a number of different ceramic projects here on my channel. So this one in the back is kind of one of the larger ones, and I like to style ceramics in a number of ways. So one of my favorite styling tricks is to pretend that you are styling a storefront, and I think this trick really helps me because then I'm able to organize a whole bunch of different items and layer them all together without being overcrowded. And I think that's really the key when you want something to look stylish but also curated and not feel overwhelmed with a bunch of different items. So a lot of times when I'm styling ceramics, I'm looking at it as a piece of art, but I'm also looking at it as a functional item. So thinking about what will fit inside the vase and fit within that color scheme and that vibe, and just playing around with different items to really elevate the ceramic piece. And that brings me to the last category of DIYs, which are art prints. And I love to create prints and art prints because it literally fits in every single space in your home. So you'll see that I like to put art prints all around my house, including my bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, office, living room, dining room, every single room, even different hallways. And my best tip for styling and creating DIY art for your home is to really take in all the different colors in your space and incorporate it within that piece of art. It really just makes everything else look so much more cohesive together and really adds in that personal touch. When DIYing your own prints, I think the best way to showcase them is by framing them with a mat, and my favorite ones are from Target because they are very inexpensive and they give your piece a nice finished look. I have one frame hanging in my bathroom which perfectly fills up the empty space under my clock, and I think it also adds in a nice quirky touch. Another option I wanted to share with you guys for displaying your artwork is with these wooden poster hangers. They are magnetic and also very inexpensive. I got this one for just $3. They're also super easy to use and are great for changing up your artwork often. Alright guys, so those were all of my best tips for styling DIYs within your home. I hope that you guys had fun taking a look back at some of the pieces that I've made here on my channel so far, as well as decorate with me before I put everything into boxes and move away. I can't wait to create even more DIYs with you guys, as well as style up some of my spaces, and I'm really excited to create some customized pieces for my new home. So if you want to see more of my projects, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every single week. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll have my handle right over here. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!